And now, YouTube comments with Jacksepticeye.
Jack, could you do your best fish impression? Next comments vid. On a scale of walking to the bathroom to Lord of the Rings, how much walking exercise do you get each day? Where does shitting where I sit fall under that? For the next comments video, do you ever play games just for the sake of playing them without recording it? Also, are there any games that you have wanted to play for a long time but haven't done it for some reason? Oh yeah, there's lots of games that I like to play just in my spare time. Recently Dark Souls 2 was one of them. I did the first episode from the PS3 version and I realized, you know what, people don't really like watching this. So then I just played the entire game twice on my own, just in my spare time. And it was awesome, it was great. I really enjoyed the game a whole lot more because I just got to enjoy it in my spare time and I didn't treat it as a video series or anything like that, so I just sat back and played it every day. Don't know if there's a game that I've wanted to play for a long time and just haven't, but a game that I've wanted to record for a very long time but haven't is Just Cause 2. Because I keep thinking about it in my head, what's going to happen if I get into the game, what I'm going to do when I get in, and I realize maybe I'll run out of ideas like halfway through a video of it, so I just want to sit down and make sure I do a good video on that if I ever do something on Just Cause 2, but yeah. Put this in the video. Who would win, Batman or Superman? Realistically, on like just a fight versus fight scenario, Superman would physically be able to pulverize Batman. I mean, Superman is a Superman, Batman is just a really rich dude, and he's really smart or whatever, but physically, Superman should win. A lot of people aren't going to like hearing me say that because I don't even like Superman myself. I think he's a really boring superhero. He can do everything. He's the Man of Steel, blah, blah, blah. Batman is far more interesting because he's more human-like and he's not really a superhero, so you can relate to him a bit more. So I'd want Batman to win, but realistically, I'd say Superman would. Put this in your comment vid. What stereotypes do you think about America? Probably the same stereotypes everyone thinks about America. Fat, loud, lazy. That's what everyone thinks, right? It's like the way everyone thinks Irish people are all drunk and swearing all the time. Well, the swearing part is kind of true. Yeah, just those kind of things, but stereotypes are never true. Jack, if you could be a girl for one day, what would you do? I think everybody knows what I'd do if I was a girl for a day. The same thing any guy would do if he was a girl for a day. I'd probably just spend the whole day naked and take a lot of showers. That'd be awesome. I'd play with my boobies. Jack, solve this riddle. Imagine yourself in a house with no windows and no doors, and it's nearly impossible to escape. How would you escape? Please put this in a comment video. So like all riddles, I think the trick is in the way you're saying it. So you said there's no windows and no doors, but you never said that the holes where the windows would be or the doors would actually be installed weren't there. So I'd say that. I'd escape through the hole where the window would go. Because you just said there's no windows or no doors. You never said there was no holes in the walls. Please put this in a comments reading video. Will you get a new animated intro to go along with your spoken intro? That would be awesome! And why did you remove the previous animated intro? I probably won't get a new one. I mean, I really liked the last one. I really liked the one that I put up just the way it was, and it did look really kind of cool in the channel or whatever, but the more I watched it and the more I heard feedback on it, the more I realized it kind of disconnected me from you guys a small bit. It made the channel seem a bit too professional, a bit too flashy. It removed that like personal element, the intimate element. And I like videos that just get straight in. I don't like ones with extended intros. Put this in one of your reading YouTube comments. Who would win, Godzilla or King Kong? I don't really know, because the two of them keep kind of changing size over the years. So it would kind of depend on which King Kong and which Godzilla you were talking about. I mean, the older ones were really limited in mobility when you saw them in the movies, because that's the way the technology was. But like the newer ones, like the Godzilla in the new Godzilla coming out versus the King Kong and say Peter Jackson's King Kong, I'd probably say Godzilla because he looks like he's absolutely hardened scales and he's just gigantic. King Kong is big, but he's just not as big. So while he's more agile or whatever, I really think Godzilla would just tear him apart. Plus, I like Godzilla more. Hey Jack, can you do an impression of a woman playing tennis? Ah! 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 You're gay. My gay what? Do you mean I am gay? Because you spelled it wrong. Jack, can you put this in your next comments video? What's your most awkward moment, and do you like sushi? My most awkward moment, I had to actually think for like 5 minutes on that. I'd say it was, I used to be like an altar boy in church. I was going to say school. I used to be an altar boy in church, but one of the moments was when the collection plate went around for money. I don't know if every church does that, but over here we do. The priest told me to pick them up. They were on where the baptismal font was, and I had to pick them up and give them to the people who were going around with them. And while the church was absolutely packed, I'd say there was like 200 to 500 people in there, and I picked them up, and I was standing on the altar with them, and nobody was coming up to collect them. And I was like, who do I give them to? Where do I go? And the other altar boys were just like snickering behind. And I kind of like just knelt back down and I left them on the side beside me and I just kept my head down. And then eventually somebody came over and picked them up and brought them off and they were smiling at me and I was mortified. I was only like 10 at the time, if even that. Oh, I do like sushi. The first time I tasted it was when I went to Korea. And my girlfriend suggested it to me. Normally, I'm kind of iffy about fish. I do like fish, but sometimes the smell and the taste can turn me off. I have no idea why. It's kind of like the way I was raised. When I ate sushi, it was really, really nice. But it has to be fresh sushi, like in a restaurant. I can't eat sushi that's been like pre-packaged and put in a shelf in a supermarket because something about like food that could be a day old really turns me off. I don't know, but yeah, I do like sushi. Hey Jack, just wondering, if you were trapped on a desert island, what 3 games would you bring? I would probably bring, first off, Dark Souls, then probably Shadow of the Colossus, because those are 2 of my favorite games ever. Number 3, probably Final Fantasy 9. It's my favorite Final Fantasy, and there is so much to do and see in that game. For your next comments video, what do you do after successfully making a video? Yes! No, but seriously, after I make a video, I just kind of save the files into a folder on my hard drive, and then usually I'll go off and edit it straight after I make it, just so I have it all out of the way at once. Reading comments. Are you left-handed? I have a left hand, but no, I write with my right hand. But I kick with my left, which is really weird. People, like everybody I know who's left-handed is left-footed. Everyone that I know that's right-handed is right-footed. I'm like the only person I know that's right-handed but left-footed. I guess it's that balance, like equilibrium. Right, left, like that straight line. Jack, you should a Christopher Walken impression. Well, I'm not sure if I can do it with a blocked nose, but I mean, I'll give it a shot. I honestly don't know if that's good or not, because you know when you do impressions and you hear them in your head, and then you hear them back, and you're like, wow, I can't do that. So in my head, that sounds pretty good. You guys let me know. Watch Shrek is Love, Shrek is Life. Put in comments video. I'm not going to watch it on camera for 2 reasons. First off, I've seen it. And secondly, I don't want to get like copyright infringed or anything. It's always dodgy when you put in videos of somebody else in your video, so I'm not going to do it for that reason, but that is some pretty disturbing shit. Like, I had expected something silly when I heard about it before, but oh my god, actually watching it, well, I guess listening to it, I was like, what the fuck? Like a boss! Do you have a driver's license? No, I do not. I've never really needed one so far. I mean, I've always been able to get lifts here and there wherever I needed to go. I never really need to go anywhere anyway. But I haven't gotten one because tests are expensive. You need a certain amount of like lessons before you can do your tests now, and those cost money. A car itself costs money. Putting petrol into that car or diesel, it costs money. Insurance, tax, all that shit is really expensive, and it just, all my friends who have a car are like, Jack, why don't you have a car yet? And then I hear them tell stories about how expensive it is. Like, oh, my suspension broke today, I have to get that fixed, that costs a lot of money. So cars just seem like such a hassle. Fact, 100% of Ireland are homophobic. Fact, 50% of sentence are bad grammar. Also, no we're not. Some Irish people, I'd say, are homophobic, just like any nation anywhere. But I'm not homophobic. None of my friends are. None of my family are. So that just proves your theory wrong. Be funny. Oh, I hate being put on the spot. Apples. Shit. Put this shit in your comment vid. Your vids are boring as shit. Well, you called your own comment shit. You said put this shit in your comment vid, so you just called your own comment shit. So my videos are as boring as your comment? Hey, you're the one who said it. Where did you come up with speed is key, and how long have you been on YouTube? I've been on YouTube just over a year. I was a year on YouTube in like December. Well, my channel was created like ages ago, back in like 2006 or 2007, but I never really used it. I've been making videos since December 2012. And the speed is key thing, it's just like a phrase you hear around. People say, like the way I used to say thread the needle. Like, that's something you hear every now and then, and just in the moments of when I'm recording, those pop into my head, and I said them, and then people in the comments kept saying them back to me, so they kind of caught on as something that I said now and then. Jack, remember me? You blew me up a few times. Oh my god, it's Bob Kerman! Hey, how's Jebediah and Bill? Those guys holding up good as well? Yeah, I killed you guys a lot, but you keep coming back for more, and you always have the smiles on your faces. You guys are little Kerbal troopers. And that does it for this reading your comments video. Yes, I am still incredibly sick. You guys can hear it in my nose, and talking back is just really annoying. I can hear my own voice inside my head. It's really weird. I hate having a blocked nose. I hate having a cold. But thank you guys for the comments. As always, you guys are just incredible, commenting all the time and interacting with these videos, and just these videos get so many comments all the time, and it's incredible. Thank you guys so much. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, punch that like button in the face like a boss, and high fives all around. Whoosh, whoosh. But thank you guys, and I will see all you dudes. Look at that, perfect. Right when you shot, the whole place illuminates. So could you imagine like a Max Payne game like this? If that's how it would work. Oh, more guys. That was so close.